Hello and welcome to Superhuman, where we push the limits of what it means to be human through exploring health technology and human performance optimization. On Superhuman, we look at useful tech and fitness insights, health technology breakthroughs, new products in the state of the health tech industry, as well as the business of health technology. Today on Superhuman, I'm joined by Michael Iwashima, a rising thought leader at the intersection of bioengineering, AI, and health technology. He's a bioengineering student at Santa Clara University and the founder of SCU AI Collaborate, which is a thriving community dedicated to solving real-world problems through AI. Michael's groundbreaking projects range from EEG-based video game controllers for children with cerebral palsy to developing highly accurate, low-cost, non-invasive blood glucose monitors and AI-driven tools for personalized epilepsy treatment. Driven by a passion for pushing human potential, rooted in his own journey overcoming a career-ending soccer injury, Michael is pioneering brain-computer interfaces and exploring how virtual reality and advanced sensors can transform health outcomes. I'm excited to dive deep into his insights, experiences, and vision for the future of health tech and human performance. Hello, Michael.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Marty. It's quite an intro, and hopefully I can live up to, all the things that you just said.
Is there anything I missed?
No. I think that's really great. I think it's all of it. I don't know if I'm, you know, doing, leading everything, but trying to contribute, you know. Yeah. Thank you for having me, Marty. You're doing great things as well, bringing top speakers, top thinkers to AI Collaborate to SCU. You know, you're contributing a lot to society, and now making this podcast. So going great directions.
Appreciate you. Where do you see the health tech industry going in the next decade, and what are the best waves to start riding while they're still small in this industry?
Yeah. Um. So I think the first thing that I've at least been seeing. I went to University of Melbourne and saw what they're doing, Melbourne, Sydney, in healthcare. I've also been seeing some things here at SU, um, some things at Stanford as well. Um, so, and this is just like what I've personally seen, and not necessarily what I've been reading from like research papers. But I've been seeing a lot of development in like at home almost diagnostic or like health monitoring tools. So like when I went over to Melbourne, they're developing, like blankets that can monitor like your brain's actually your activity, because it has like little electrodes woven into the blanket. Let's say you have like a seizure in the middle of the night, or just, helping keeping track of maybe just sleep health,
Mhm.
different things like that. Obviously we already have like the rings now. Um, but there's going to be a lot of different tools as you'd mentioned. So I for one of my projects I'd been working on developing a non-invasive glucose blood monitoring device that hasn't been like fully established yet, but it's there's lots of research ongoing there. It's billions of dollars, industry. um, and then there's also like development with companies for these EEG devices that would be really accessible and accurate for everyday patients, and specifically they're targeting applications in people who have epilepsy, people who need it the most, but that could really be expanded to lots of different things. People with
Hmm.
ADHD, people like just mental health applications, and then so all these little gadgets that can help you monitor your own personal health. It could even go as deep as to what you're eating. One idea that I've been thinking about and has been kind of gaining traction is, it might be a little gross, but toilets that can monitor your stool. There's a lot of good information in your stool actually. And maybe it could tell you maybe you should adjust some of your eating, to eat more of like oranges than uh,
Mm.
carbohydrates or something, something like that. Um, and um, so I've just been like personally seeing all these different devices being researched, developed, some of them being like breaking into the industry. Um, and I mean, there's lots of hurdles there, but it's starting. The second thing that I think is huge, huge, and I mean, everyone's like, it's super hype right now, which is AI. But I think for healthcare, it's going to be a very slow, like, movement, and then it's going to kind of break through.
Mhm.
And there's a couple of reasons for this. The reason why AI isn't just going straight into healthcare is healthcare is like a very conservative kind of industry, right? Like doctors, they want to stick to what they know and what they know works. Because if you start jumping around to all these different solutions, people are actually going to die or their conditions are going to get worse, and that's horrible. So let's say you want to incorporate an AI diagnostic kind of thing for maybe imaging technology. That's currently actually that's the current leading AI application is images. There's also some like note taking stuff going on, but that's kind of chiller. Um, let's say you want to take in the AI diagnostics. If the AI gets a diagnosis wrong, and let's say it's like it gets it wrong a lot for like Asian people, okay? Um, and that can happen because the data sets that you use to train any AI model, it's really dependent on, you know, what population or type of or group of people you use for that data, okay? So let's say you get diagnosis for a lot of Asian people wrong, then, I mean, you're going to get sued a lot, but it's like, what that problem could have been avoided if you had just had maybe had a normal doctor take the diagnosis or make the diagnosis.
Mhm.
And normal doctors still will get things incorrect,
Mhm.
but it's like, um, with AI, like there's just a general feeling that you can't really control it.
Mhm.
Um, with people, you can kind of know what's going on in a way. That's the whole black box thing. Um,
Another question is, what advice do you have for people trying to get into the health tech industry for networking and getting involved with impactful companies, projects, and people?
mhm. So, I think there's a very good network here at Santa Clara, um, of professors who have been involved in the medical, healthcare space. Um, I think so. For anybody who's looking into it, right? Um, I think for networking, like if you're a student at Santa Clara, check out some of the professors in the bio department. Um, if you're outside of Santa Clara, I can't really speak to that, but for those inside and outside SU, like there's lots of like good conferences. To try to attend some of those conferences to just learn what's going on. That's also a great way to network. Um, Now, I think in terms of like the technical skills side, um, I think, I mean, like, okay, to be fair, myself, like, I am also trying to break in. So keep that in mind with anything I do say. I haven't actually done it per se yet. Um, I still have to graduate college. But I think it also depends on what you want to go into. Like, if you're going into medical devices, that's you'll want to get your mechanical engineering, you'll want to get your maybe electrical engineering, um, but You could also, go into like the coding and AI aspects of some of these companies. Um, I think, let's see, there's a lot of like quality control positions that I remember kind of talking to people about. I don't know what skills you kind of have to develop there, but you kind of just have to get your foot in the door with like an internship. Um, let's see. Um, yeah, a lot of people are trying to, at least I know, are trying to get more experience with like the AI side. Some of my colleagues, I don't know how successful they've been getting into like healthcare companies. Um, but yeah, I think, build your foundation where you are most confident in, whether or like what you want to explore, coding, mechanical engineering, um, the sales aspect. Sales in medical device is actually a huge, huge,
Hmm.
huge, huge thing. Um, Understand like biology as well, I'd say, like um and like maybe just how the human body works, like the immune system especially. um and then network with what you have, right? The professors here at Santa Clara are great. Lots of startups kind of uh coming out of this community. um Go to the conferences. There's lots of them in the area. This is, we are, I mean, this isn't generally recognized, but we are the biotech bay, you know. Um, and yeah, I think that's the best you can do. In my mind, that's what I should be doing. Um, I also personally, I'm really interested in also the research aspect of these things, which is why I'm also pursuing a PhD. But you don't have to do that. That's, by yeah, that's just what my own interest. Um, and I don't think it would hurt to try out your own company or try out your own little project. I think that's becoming really valuable.
Hmm.
Um, and putting that on your resume, because people who start something, they're a lot more hardworking than people who just post their, classes or courses taken. Um, because doing a project and doing your own startup, that's that's tough,
Yeah.
and you know that's respectable, and people recognize that, and that makes you stand out. Yeah,
Hmm. Yeah. No, thank you. I that answers a lot of things I've been personally
yeah,
uh like wondering about, like coming from, I started out here in the business school as
yeah,
a finance major, but I got really into the tech side of thing.
yeah,
And then now I'm trying to like niche down to really get
yeah,
a upper hand in like one thing.
yeah,
And for me, I think it's rational to do what I'm passionate about, which is
yeah,
like health and fitness. So
yeah,
health, like tech.
yeah, yeah,
So yeah, I think you think like trying to start some type of biotech, health tech, little project or company that would like help my
yeah,
resume. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. And if you kind of like, I think a great way to also figure out what that could be is like reach out to some doctors
Hmm.
and see what are their pain points, and like reach out to doctors in an area that you're kind of interested about. Like if it's like athletics, you could reach out to like athletic what are they called, uh
Phys
rehab, like
Physical therapy.
like not the like when you get injured, right, you go to a chiropractor or something, athletico. um I'm forgetting the word though.
Thinking of physical therapist.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's what it's called, physical therapist, people like that. um uh, or athletic, like athlete. I think there's like a specific type of doctor or medicine that's related to athletics. Um, Reach out to them, learn what
Mm,
they do on a day-to-day basis, just like kind of get an idea for that, and then try to find like in their day-to-day basis, what are their biggest pain points? And could you make something that like would potentially help that? Um, I think, uh, yeah, I mean, there's lots that could be potentially be done. Um, yeah, I think that's
yeah.
a great way to try to like get started. You know what though, I'll also say you could also try to get started with joining some project under professor or something as well. Um, that's also a great way to kind of learn things and develop a network there. Um, if you could do both at the same time, that's the best, best case scenario.
Mhm.
Yeah, it is a lot of hustle. I will say that. It's a good thing though.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you. Yeah. It's all sort of new to me, because
Yeah,
I've been entering the technical side rather pretty fast. Like
yeah,
I switched to from finance into the management information systems major in the
yeah,
business school.
yeah,
Um, and now people are talking about like GitHubs, and I didn't even know what that was, to be honest, like
yeah.
a
No,
year ago.
yeah, yeah. Well, it's a great thing to learn GitHub, and
Yeah.
I think it's great that you're learning fast, and you know, um, no, I think it's very important, and I think what you're doing is great. I think you have, um, I think also really really utilize that sales kind of finance background because
Hmm.
um, that's a pretty important thing for bio. I think there's a lot of
Hmm.
really technical people that can develop the devices, but to sell them to doctors is a whole different thing,
Hmm.
um, and like developing systems to help with that. Yeah,
Hmm. Yeah. I think sales operations is like a big thing that's in demand right now. I just see
yeah,
job postings for it like all the time.
yeah, yeah.
Um, for sure. So, do you think like I'm trying to jump into product management?
Okay,
That is like in the health tech industry. My
yeah,
my current like major minor mix is I'm like MIS
yeah,
with minors in data analytics, biology, and the healthcare innovation design
okay,
minor that the engineering school does. Do you
yeah.
think that's like good for getting into the business side of health tech, or would I need even more technical things? Are there technical things you think I should find on like Coursera or do on my own that I can't really get through that combo?
Yeah.
Technical barriers?
I think so. I don't know how much school, um like for a company. Actually, yeah, I can't speak as to like what a company looks for in the technical background in terms of like classes you take.
Hmm.
Um I think that's easier to say with like coding because there's well-defined courses and all that stuff. Um with healthcare, it's tough, but I honestly think, from my own experience, I think, and this is also part of why I think it's important to do the projects. Use Do a project, and you'll learn all the technical skills you need to do that project, um, and that will give you a good background to enter some niche area, and
Mhm.
that'll also give you a good network to start from. Because the thing about healthcare is a lot of the applications are so specific.
Mhm.
Um, like for example, like the brain computer interface stuff, you need a whole different knowledge set than if you do something with um like a implanted like heart pacer, you know. Um, there's overlaps, but just like you the areas are just so different, but it's still healthcare, you know. Um,
Hmm.
and I've never heard anybody say like you need to take this class to do this. Um, thank you for the vitamin water though. I appreciate it.
I tried one out for myself
Yeah, yeah,
when I was getting you one. I was like, hey, you know what? If he knows, and
yeah,
this is a good follow-up into my next question. I said if he knows, if he studies like bio and like health and he drinks this, then it's got to be somewhat good. You know, I know you looked at
yeah.
the
The
nutrition
well,
facts or
it's funny, dude. I don't look at the nutrition facts, bro. I go off of what tastes good. I'm gonna be honest.
oh,
But I think that's
never
the
mind.
best way, dude. I think that's the best way because our biology,
That's
is
true.
designed to keep us healthy, you know.
Well, I think you could exploit that pretty easily though with like
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
chocolate cakes and Twinkies. I like
Yeah,
how those
yeah, okay.
taste, but
Well, I'm gonna be honest though, like that stuff, like it's kind of disgusting to me. So like I enjoy it every once in a while, but like
yeah,
I, you know,
that's
for
true
me,
though.
I can't do that. Yeah.
Yeah, because there is a difference between like holistically liking a food and liking how it makes you feel throughout the day,
Yeah.
and then just like the taste in that moment.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Because there's some foods like obviously when you're eating like chicken and rice,
Yeah.
and vegetables, in
Yeah.
the moment it's not as pleasurable as eating a chocolate cake, but like you take
True.
that whole
Yeah.
day,
Yeah.
just the energy you feel a little bit lighter, you feel a little bit,
Exactly, exactly. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, no, it feels good to eat healthy, you know.
yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah.
Um,
But okay, so that leads into my next question,
yeah.
which is just I'm gonna scroll to it real quick.
All right.
Yeah, so like knowing things about health and tech, and you do a lot of cool research, but
Yeah.
what are some things any guy like me could just you could do in their life to like leverage what you know about health and technology and health technology to just like optimize like the day-to-day things, you know, like things like the Aura Ring, if there's any more
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
just stuff out there just for like everyday uh like people to just implement.
Yeah. That's a good question. Um, is there anything that I think is like super cool right now? Um,
Or just like things you know about like health, and
yeah.
it doesn't necessarily have to be like some new technology.
Yeah. I
If
mean,
I let's go ahead.
like I can just give you my personal stance on health and like what I implement personally in my life.
Yeah, no,
Um,
because you're a healthy guy. You do like Muay Thai, and
thank you. Yeah.
I see you at the
Thank you.
gym whipping out those
Yeah.
pull-ups and stuff.
Thank you. Thank you. So like in my like I think first I think it's super important to gain control or like strengthen your mental, your mental health and your mental capabilities. Um I think there's things that are overlooked that um like honestly destroy a lot of people in terms of their potential.
Mhm.
I think social media, screen time usage, anything that's like entertainment that the purpose of it is just to like feel nice, like in my opinion that's just drugs, but
Yeah, dude.
it's not viewed that way. And it's addiction. Like people have a really hard time getting off of social media. I also do as well when I get into it. um like taking I think it's super important to take out the things in life that are meant to distract you from life. And honestly, like I think it's really important when you're not doing much, I think it's important to be bored because and like not do
Mm.
anything because from that you'll kind of become more curious or get more ideas about things you could do and improve your own life.
Yeah. No,
um
I know like so many people in like founders and successful people like preach
Mhm.
going on walks. It's a big like common thing I've seen.
Yeah, yeah.
Walks.
I think I I haven't implemented that like too much, but it's definitely like walking around helps you think so much. And I just find it hard to honestly. I mean, I could try to make time for it in my schedule, but I find it hard to fit into my schedule. Um, um, and then um, really dive into your curiosity, and don't just do coursework. Do like just like go into like reading books, things
Mhm.
about you're curious about. Watch lectures, take courses about just things you're curious about. Improve your own experience and like way of thinking. Um, I think that's the number one thing. And along with that goes you need to get good sleep. You need to work out consistently. If you don't do those, and you need to eat well. If you don't do those things, you can't think well.
Hmm.
Or I can't think well. Um, and so I think that's the biggest thing, and like just self discipline. Um, Actually, it's funny. One thing that I don't think I tell a lot of people, but I felt was super important for strengthening my own mental strength was I actually used to do these swimming exercises every weekend, like freshman sophomore year, um, where I wanted to implement something like the Navy SEALs did to train people to be able to combat their own like fears. And one of the biggest innate human fears is the fear of drowning.
Hmm.
And if you can control yourself while you're drowning almost to like try to accomplish some task, like I feel that can I don't know if that's training, but I kind of learned something about my like the way the brain works. But so what I would do is I would I would swim down the aisle. Um, I would dive down to the bottom and not come up for a breath of air until I got to the other side. Um, and like 3/4 to half a way in, you start to kind of feel like, oh shit, I need air. 3/4 of the way in, your body's almost like retracting because it's like it needs air. And if you can control yourself to not jump up for air, you know, because you're not gonna drown. Like it's just a mental thing. Um, I did that every weekend, and I felt that that was actually really helpful for me, um, learning how to face fear, but also like control my own mental like way of thinking. I focused on that honestly so much. Um, I think there's things you could do like the Aura Ring tracking the heart rate. Um, you know, uh, like buying some of the technologies that help monitor health. I think that's important, especially if you have like a genetic predisposition for some disease.
Hmm.
Um, I think I I I haven't focused on eating like what I eat too much. I just make sure like I get meat, rice, vegetables, fruits, um, milk, yogurt, just like all the basics. To be honest, um, I know people care about like Red 40 and um, actually also like olive. I like olive oil cooking, but I honestly I didn't really subscribe to that stuff too much. I think I live fine based off of just those eating habits.
Hmm.
Um, I think that's everything I think about in terms of health, to be honest. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Thank you. Yeah.
I couldn't agree more about the agency component.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Mental health is number one, and it's a battle every day. You could really easily dive into, all the the holes on the internet. Um, so you got to battle every day. Yeah.
yeah, no, I mean my productivity and just general like feeling of agency and
Yeah.
everything has just felt exponentially better since I completely I cleaned off TikTok a while ago off my phone.
Yeah, it's good. That's good. Yeah.
Because TikTok, something about it. It's like I remember when it started in like 20 like
Yeah.
18, 2019, everyone was like, this is cringe, making fun of it. Now it's like normal.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But the general like the way it's formatted, like
Yeah.
how are you gonna like say anything real within like 15 seconds?
Yeah. No,
And
true.
so you got
Yeah.
them like making these weird faces and doing these weird angles, and we
Yeah.
think it's normal now. It's weird.
Yeah. No,
So I
that's
didn't like that. Got rid of that.
yeah.
Instagram Reels though, man. I get some funny. I would get hilarious stuff on there. It was a great way of
Yeah.
connecting with my friends, but
Yeah.
it's not like TikTok and that I think it's like weird and like I like
Yeah.
Instagram Reels, but it's just way too stimulating.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah.
got that off. I cleared that off my phone, and
Good,
then even
good. Yeah.
YouTube. YouTube
YouTube's
gets
tough. YouTube's tough. Yeah.
YouTube's a tough one because YouTube is sometimes like if I tell Instagram I'm not interested in something, but it knows I'm interested in something, it's
It's
still gonna
gonna
give it to me. YouTube is responsive, but it still like has shorts
Yeah, yeah,
and it
yeah.
still kind of like knows how to like trap me,
Yeah, yeah.
even if it changes the subject matter.
Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely.
So I'm kind of a nerd, so I would get like these trivia videos
Okay.
and it would like
Okay,
ask a
yeah,
question
yeah.
and it would, like reveal the answer at the end or like
Yeah.
competitions on the street of like people doing trivia questions. I was just
Yeah. You just
addicted.
gotta know the yeah, you gotta know the yeah.
And I would trick myself to say, "Oh, this is productive." It's not really that
Yeah,
productive.
nah.
But what I
No.
did there, and I can't believe this isn't like common knowledge because it's been so helpful.
Uh-huh.
I turned off my on YouTube,
Uh-huh.
you can turn off your data.
Oh, really?
I
I didn't even
turned
know that.
I turned off my watching data
Uh-huh.
and I turned off my search data. Search
Uh-huh.
data you don't really have to, but the watching data. And
Yeah.
so when you do that,
Uh-huh.
it completely disables YouTube Shorts
Oh,
automatically
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
because YouTube Shorts doesn't exist without data. That's the only way it works.
Yeah.
Like you scroll and then it by data it shows you the next thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you disable your data, it disables YouTube Shorts
Interesting.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
and the recommendations.
Yeah.
No recommendations, no YouTube Shorts. The only like YouTube, I open it up.
Uh-huh.
I would screen share. I could show you later, but like
Okay. Yeah.
but I open it up, it's just black. It's just literally the search bar. I
Yeah.
get what I want out of YouTube. It doesn't get me any
Dude, that's amazing.
it
Yeah.
doesn't pull me anywhere I don't want to go. It's just the
Dude, I'm
search bar.
I'm doing that right now.
Do you disable your data on YouTube?
Well, I haven't, but like, so what I'll do is I'll want to like listen to lo-fi or something.
Yeah.
I'll go on YouTube, search it up, and like, yeah, they just pop up the videos. I'm like, dude, oh fuck, I want to watch that too.
Yep.
It's tough.
Yeah. Dude, disable that the data on there.
Yeah,
It's literally life changing.
yeah. I'm gonna do it right now.
It's amazing. Like I infinitely happy because Instagram you don't really need it. So it's easier to delete, but YouTube you kind of need.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
exactly. Because like, there's a lot of important information on YouTube. Yeah,
oh yeah. No, yeah. I mean, so that's a tricky one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna check this out. Yeah, thank you for letting me know that. Yeah,
All right. Thank you so much, Michael, for coming on the Superhuman podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed and leave a like, smash that subscribe button,
yep,
and and then yeah, keep watching the Superhuman podcast if you want to stay updated on all things health technology and human performance optimization.
yeah. Go
Peace out.
subscribe. Go subscribe. See y'all.